live, you know. Yeah. No, I say live, you know. Nah. Nah. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. And you can try showing good post now. Yeah, Shalom Israel. Priest and Officer Matt Kwayak of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge out in Trinidad. The I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. The I.S.U.P.K, again, as we continually say, is not affiliated with any religious group or organization. Right? Before we get into the class, as we do before every class, right? For new people that are looking in the I.S.U.P.K here in Trinidad, we have classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, right? On Thursdays and yeah, on Thursdays we tune into the scripture breakdown class, right? From out in headquarters, right? With General Mahaiman, right? But here in Trinidad we have classes. On Monday we have the history class with Officer Makako Bal, where you could come and learn your history of you being a Hebrew Israelite, you being a Jew. You understand? You coming into this knowledge of understanding who you are. You are coming into this knowledge, understanding that you are the true biblical Jews, the true Hebrew Israelite. Those people out there in Israel, they are not the real Jews. You understand? You so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you are the true Jews according to the Bible. So on Mondays, you could come and learn about your history. You understand? As being one of the lost tribe of the nation of Israel, right? On Tuesdays, we have brotherhood classes, Professor Sowapiala, right? Where you could come and learn more about brotherhood, sisterhood, how you should deal with your brother, your sister, and so forth, right? On Wednesdays, we have the law class, where you could come and learn laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High that the Christian church say done away with. And that is not so. Of course, the laws of the Most High is still in effect, but the Christian church, right, will say that the laws of the Most High is done away with and will have you going astray, will have you sinning against the Most High. You understand? Will have you and your nation at the bottom of society. You understand? But in the I.S.U.P.K, commandments and statutes of the Most High, and we teach men to do so. Right? That is very important. Again, Tuesdays, we have the breakdown class from out in headquarters with General Mahaiman. On Fridays, we have the Lashawan Kodash, right? These classes, again, always interchange, so you'll be having different teachers at different times. But Fridays, we have the Lashawan Kodash. And Saturdays, we have the Sabbath service, right? And on Sundays, we have the scripture breakdown with Officer Galawan, that is our camp leader. For more information, you could go up on the Trinidad and Tobago I.S.U.P.K page on Facebook. You could check us out on YouTube, share the classes, subscribe. You understand? Just if you want to reach Officer Galawan, we have the number 290-5173, but you could get more information on these pages, right? On Mondays, again, we have scripture breakdown out there in headquarters, and we have the Black Watch Commanding General YAHANNA, where you will get all the latest things that is affecting the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community throughout the world. You understand? Again, the I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any religious group. Before we get into the class, that's something I want to show, right? And I had to laugh because I saying to myself, you know, what could that do for people? What could that do to help blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians come out of the condition that they're in? You understand? What could that do to make make our people know who we are? You understand? And that in itself showing that the Christian church is not out to help black people, is not out to help blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? The Christian church, as we do say time and time again, is the house of Satan. You understand? House of deceivers and liars. They're not out here to teach our people who they are. You understand? And it is important that we must know that this Bible is for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This Bible is for nobody else. You understand? This Bible is not for no other race upon the face of the earth. This Bible is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and in it there are laws, commandments, and statutes that you are to keep. You understand? That you are to keep so that you will be above all nations upon the face of the earth. That you will be in the right standing with the Most High. You understand? That your people will come out from the condition that they're in. You understand what I'm saying? And if you take some time and really look throughout the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, they have Christian church set up all over. And look at the condition that our people is in still. We are still in the ghettos. We are still suffering. You understand? We are still under the oppression of these other nations. But again, there's Christian church throughout these places. You understand? Every block and every corner. You understand how people still on drugs, people still being lesbians, people still being adulterers, people still smoking, selling drugs to their brothers. You understand what I'm saying? Again, we as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are not supposed to be doing that. So again, the Christian church is to be held accountable. The Christian church and these religious leaders and politicians is to be held accountable for the things that is happening to our people in the ghettos, for the crimes that is being done to our people in the ghettos, because they supposed to be the ones that teach us, that's supposed to be teaching us the laws, commandments, and statutes of God. But again, they're not doing that. They want to jumping up and down, they want to sing a song, you understand? And have you doing all manner of evil against the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? So before we get into the class, I'm going to show you a little clip, and then you will see the difference, whereby when in the Christian church, they don't have you learning nothing. But again, when you tune into these classes throughout the I.S.U.P.K, you have brothers, you understand, officers, captains, generals teaching the word of the Most High, something that they could actually take home and study, something that they could think upon. You understand? So that your life could change, your family life could change. You'll understand that you have a nation to build, because we are lost, we are at the bottom. We don't even know we are. A nation to build, and most importantly, we have a power to serve. You understand? Because that power is coming back to fight for us, to deliver us from the hands of our enemies. In the Christian church, they will not teach you these things, right? So let me just show you a little clip before we get into tonight's class. All right? Something I'm watching, and I say, boy, these Christian leaders and religious leaders have to be mad. Even when you watch the little process with the voting a little while ago, you see where the Archbishop or the Pope, the Catholic Church in Trinidad went to vote. Was the Archbishop or the Pope? But is a religious leader, prominent religious leader. I forget his name, but he went out and voted. You understand? And come up proud on the TV station and the newspapers showing the red finger. He went and voted. When in the Bible, you understand, the Most High is against voting. We're not supposed to be voting as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But what I'm saying is, when these religious leaders do these things, they make you feel that that is right in the eyes of the Most High. But the Most High don't want you, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to be voting. The Most High don't want you to be setting up these other nations over them, over you, because these other nations, they don't like you. Yeah, go ahead, Professor Shah.
And we name it and pass a copy that MP.
Think so, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
For one of them areas.
I'm not too sure, but that's something I have to check back again. But I know for sure that he's a wicked religious leader. You understand? Not showing the people what it is supposed to be taught to them. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm still have to turn this here. If you get that screen, there's some short I just want to show how these religions, they have no interest in really learning Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know who they is, the condition that we're in, you understand, and why these other nations have that dreadful hate over us, why they don't like us, and why we under their hands, why we under the foot. You understand, with all this oppression that we get from them, right? I'm gonna get it, right? We really have to be out of our mind in these Christian. Let's see if I can get a play. It won't be long.
Are you ready to leave? 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 Come on, Miracle Ministries International. You're leaping and reaping season. You're leaping and reaping season. Our leaping and reaping season. Yeah.
Now, before we go a little further, right, or before we go to the class, I want to know if in the Bible it's have a leaping and reaping season. That's what I want to know. And I want to know what he doing, if that will help our people come out from the conditions that they're in. I want to know if that will help Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in Trinidad. You understand?
Listen. We are moving from weeping to leaping. So have no care. Wipe your begin to cheer because Jesus is here. Come on. A big one for Jesus. 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 This is your leaping season, not your weeping season. Tell somebody the leap year is still here. The leap year is still here. The leap year is still here. 2020 leap. Yeah. Come on. And it's still here. So wipe your tear. This is a leaping time. So you might be a little warmer.
Let me show you something, right? In the Christian church, we don't understand that. These pastors and them they're just about getting your money out your pocket. You understand? Reaping and leaping season and what's the next thing they say? Sow a seed and watch it increase and all this madness. In the midst of the COVID-19 virus, so they see picking up pace here in Trinidad again, right? So in the midst of this COVID-19, he leaping and reaping. He's the only one leaping and reaping. You understand? Because he behind me pulpit, behind my camera, nobody in the church, and guess what's happening? You understand? Making Chantal mail it or come by the front church or maybe by the security booth. You understand? But this that going on here in the Christian church, this can help our people. You understand? The Most High not dealing with you reaping and leaping in the Christian church. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High wants you to understand who you are as a people. The Most High wanted to know what you need to do. The Most High wanted to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes, which is most important of all. You understand what I'm saying? So when he done reap and leap, you ain't learn nothing when the service done. Because when he done reap and leap, he gave some nice words, some smooth words. You understand? Or some book he might read. You understand? Or better yet, if he's a motivational speaker, so by the time he done talk, you feeling empowered over nothing. Over nothing. And time after time again, our people locked down in these ghettos, not changing or not coming out from the conditions that they. You understand what I'm saying? Time and time again, This is not to be happening for our people, right? So let me get into tonight's class. Give me the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1, right? We go start there because, again, the Christian leaders, these religious leaders and politicians, they are not out there for our people. You understand? The elections passed, and you could see the anger and hatred to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians from these other nations. You understand? They could see that hatred because they're coming up and speak all manner of evil towards our people. You understand what I'm saying? All manner of evil. And maybe if the elections they take a different turn, and these other nations, the Elamites, was in position, was in power, talk would have be different. You understand what I'm saying? But they know that they are the superior one over our people. They know that. You understand? They know that they're ruling over us. And to get in the head, to get in the mind, right? That you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, going and rule over them, now they have all manner of evil to say against you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Now some people might say, wait, look at them Indian and them. They start with the racial thing. But let me show you some. These other nations and these East Indians and them, they have always been so. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? They have always been so. But what happened is that when the so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man integrate with these other nations, we lost sight. I really seen the true people that they are. You understand what I'm saying? When we integrate with them, we start seeing we lost, sorry. We lost what we really supposed to be seeing out of these other nations. Because we as a people, we are very loving. We, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we want to love everything. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? But we lost what we really supposed to be seeing out of these other nations. And the Christian church not going to share these scriptures. They want to leap and reap, but they're not going to share these scriptures that will help you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, understand what's really going on. They're not going to show you these things. You understand? And there's plenty of things inside here for you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man that you're supposed to know. You understand? So when they reap and leap, you go past a copy just doing it. And you as a black man in the ghetto or Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you hear Bible. That making you know, hey, me have time with that. Because look at the Christian pastor behaving like a homosexual. You understand? So now you seeing the Bible as weak. You seeing the Bible as inferior. You understand what I'm showing you? But in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commandant General YAHANNA will bring you the truth according to the Bible. You're not going to reap and leap. But you're going to show a black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man what you need to do. You understand? In the sight of these other nations. Because again, these other nations don't like you. These other nations is not for you. You understand? Some might say, you can't say that because it's a good Indian, it's a good Chinese, it's a good this. In the transatlantic, there were good blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and all of us serve the same faith. You understand what I'm saying? So let me get Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gather yourself together.
What?
Yeah. Gather yourself together.
You understand? So black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you supposed to do what? Gather yourself together. Gather yourself together, not gather with every nation. You understand what I'm saying? You supposed to gather yourself, gather with your people, gather with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, gather with the 12 tribes, gather with the Venezuelans. You understand what I'm saying? Gather with the Mexicans, gather with the Benjamites, gather with them from Judah. You supposed to gather with the 12 tribes. You understand? Go ahead.
Gather together, O nation, not desire.
You understand? You is a nation, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man that is not desired. As the elections drop, who wasn't seen it before, start seeing, nah, something wrong. You understand? But the Most High had already tell you that you are a nation that is not desired. You understand what I'm saying? Not an individual. You are a nation. So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Venezuelans, as we always say and will always say, coming across here is your people. That is a part of your nation. You understand? You are the ones not desired. You are not desired by these other nations. You are not desired by the Chinese. You are not desired by the Japanese. Neither the white man, neither the Syrians out here in Trinidad. He is not desired by the East Indians. You understand? If it was desired, they would not have all these things to say about it. You understand what I'm saying? And the Christian pastors and religious leaders, they're not telling you, so-called black man, that you are not desired. They're not telling you, gather yourself together. According to Most High, this is what you're supposed to do. Take it from the top again, Officer Sharp, please.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together. O nation, not desired.
You understand? So we as a people, we're supposed to gather ourselves together. Why? We is the nation that is not desired by these other races. You understand? We could integrate with them as much as we want. You understand? But we are not desired by them. Because the Most High made you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. He chose you to be a special people unto himself. The Most High, the way mixing up and intermingling and intermarrying with all these other nations. You understand? He made you to be separate, holy. And these are the things that your religious leaders are supposed to tell you. You understand what I'm saying? So when these East Indians come out and they talk all the way they want to talk or say what they want to say, don't bother you because you know what you're supposed to do. You understand? You're supposed to gather with your people. You know that you as a nation that not desired. They can say what I want to say. Let us say what I want to say. You understand? But this Bible, in this Bible, it has things for you to follow. And when you follow it, you go see what will become of all these other nations that have that saying, what do you think that I say? Coming up on Facebook there again, put contraceptive in the drinks. Yeah. You understand? Rolly should put contraceptive in the water because they're making too much children, 10 and 12 children and whoever, all kind of madness. You understand? Or let us say what I want to say, but you so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you have something to do. Gather yourself together. You understand? Because you is that nation that is not desired. You are not desired by all these other nations. You understand? You're going to say some opposition?
Yeah, and they right, the all you're saying and all to all people and all feel like now all the East Indians and them, right? So here all these Syrians and them move today, right? So now it's a kind of we people now it's like we people now go feel like the Syrians and them like right? So the Syrians and them start to pull all the answer and but them all the people start to say things against the same
right.
Black Hispanics and Native Indians, right? So they start to pull down all the answer and milks and them, right?
Right.
But now in the mindset now it's like them Syrians that's going and look at gain and that because now when they think that now they're putting in the Black Hispanic and Native in your head, hey, them Syrians like me. So now they will come more and more people now go start to focus on the Syrians, the massive groceries and all them other things and then
well said.
Hey, look them Syrians, how we back and they because pull down all them things.
Exactly.
These Syrians don't want
You're very well correct. You understand? So now in the eyes of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you understand? It's very well right to do the same thing. In our eyes, when we see these things happening, and we see like, hey, look, as Officer Shah rightfully saying, the Syrians taking down the goods that is from the East Indians, they're pulling it down, they want to sell it. You understand? They're putting it on hold. We thinking that the Syrians is our saviors. You understand what I'm saying? So we still want to go and intermingle with them. We still not gathering ourselves together as a people. You understand what I'm saying? So you're very well correct what you're saying there, Officer Shah. You understand? But our people we don't. The Christian church leave it on a drain now. They leave it on a path that is right. Or they say it, full head for destruction. You understand? Full on for destruction. Give me the book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. You understand? Because we as a people, we must understand on this earth, in this whole entire earth, the Most High have a special people. And the same people, the same nation that is not desired, that is the Most High special people. You understand what I'm saying here? But we did some things as a people. Again, the Christian church will not teach you these things. We sinned against the Most High. We fell from the position that we was. You understand? We will get into all of that tonight. We fell from which part we was. You understand? And in order for we to go back to the top, as we read what the Most High telling us, we have to come back keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? Let all these nations say all what they want to say. You understand? Monkey with banana. You understand? Show this whole political campaign is odds against the black man like sand. The worst to say about him. You understand? Don't study that. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you have a job to do. Gather yourself together, O nation, not desire, and understand that you are the Most High chosen people. Give me Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26 to 27.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. And you shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy.
You understand? So the Most High is letting you know, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian. Your pastor ain't gonna let you know this. The Most High is letting you know that you are holy unto him. You understand? And holy being separate. 20 to 26. I mean, yeah, 20 and 26, right? The Most High letting you know that you holy. Holy again meaning separate. You just separate people to the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the true Jews, the Hebrew Israelites of this Bible, the lost 12 tribes, you is a holy and separate nation unto the Most High God. The Most High don't want all these other nations, and the Most High don't want you intermingling with all these other nations. That is why he say, gather yourself together, O nation not desire. You understand? Now you understanding that you is a separate people, a holy people unto the Most High. Go ahead, Sasha. Can you take it from the topic, Mr.? I understand.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. And you shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy.
You understand? So you should be separate unto the Most High, because the Most High is separate. He's holy. Go ahead.
And have severed you from other people.
And the Most High say that he has severed you. When it's severed something, it's separated. You understand? If I have a log, you understand? Or a piece of pipe, and I sever it, I separate it. The Most High say that he separate you. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The Most High separate you, black man, the true Jew of the Bible, the Hebrew Israelites. He says he separate you from other people. You understand? The Most High separate you from the East Indians, separate you from the Chinese, he separate you from the Syrians, the Japanese, and all these other races upon the face of the earth. This is what a Christian pastor will not tell you, that you are separate people. Now, if you are separate people, and you understand that you are laws, commandments, statutes to keep, you understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't have time to fight up and deal with these other nations. You wouldn't be going behind their holidays, behind the traditions, you understand? And all these different things, because you know that your nation, you have your own custom, your own laws, your own high holidays. You have things to do in the sight of the Most High. You understand? Because the Most High say he make you separate. You understand? Nowhere in this Bible the Most High pull all nations together and say, all right, all is a melting pot. It have no melting pot inside it. You understand? Where all nations coming to be one. You have no Jahaji by no brotherhood and no boat. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing like that. The Most High separate you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, to be holy, to be separate. He severed them from all other nations. You understand? Go ahead. Salakia.
People that you should be mine.
You understand? So the Most High separate you, that it should be his. You understand? That it should be his, which showing you possession. You understand what I'm showing you? Because if you have a vehicle and you go in and tell somebody that is my car, that cannot be nobody else own on the face of the planet. If that is your house, it cannot be nobody else's house on the face of the planet. You understand what I'm saying? Your wife can be everybody's wife. Your wife is yours. The Most High says separate blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? He severed them from all other nations, that we should be his. Who is the Lord's portion? Who is the Lord's own? You understand what I'm showing you? That is who we are as a people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We belong to the Most High. But reaping and leaping, like the Christian pastor doing, they ain't gonna teach you nothing. They ain't gonna teach you that you separate. They ain't gonna teach you that the Most High separate you from other nations. You understand what I'm saying? That thing go teach you that you are the Lord's chosen. Use the true Jews of the Bible. Thing go teach you that. You understand? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 40. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? When you come into the knowledge that you are Hebrew Israelite, true Jew from the Bible, you understand? Must come and understand that you have laws, commandments, and statutes to keep. You understand? And not just keep it like you write it on a piece of paper and put it in your pocket. You understand what I'm saying? You have to observe and do these things. You have to do the commandments of the Most High. You understand? This is what you have to do as a people. Forget all the other nations. You understand? The Most High say, gather yourself. The Most High tell you that He separate you. The Most High tell you that you have laws, commandments, and statutes to keep. Word of Sasha, Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 40.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 14.
40. 40.
40?
Yeah, 4 and 40.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 14. Thou shalt keep therefore His statutes and His commandments.
You understand? We're supposed to be keeping the Most High statutes and commandments. The things that He laid out for us to do, for us to follow. You understand? Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee.
You understand? That things will go well with us so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
And with thy children.
And with who?
And with thy children after thee.
Right.
And that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth.
You understand? So we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are supposed to be keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? That was commanded by Moses to us. For Moses to give unto us, you understand? And we supposed to do what? We supposed to keep the laws, commandments, statutes of the Most High, which I commanded this day, that they may go well with us. You understand? But of course, we get into that. We did not follow up in keeping the Most High laws, commandments, and statutes, just like today. You understand? Back then, we would keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High will fight for us. You understand? And we would sin. So it's back and forth. No difference from today. We're not keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes. You understand? So things not going with us not going good with us as a nation. You understand? But he said, keep, thou therefore shalt keep the laws, commandments, and statutes, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children after thee. You understand? And that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the face of the earth. When we keep these laws, commandments, and statutes, we won't be intermingling with these other nations and have these other nations making us sell drugs for them. You understand? Things will be well with us in this earth. Our days will be long. We keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. We won't be fighting each other because we will understand that we're brothers. We won't be selling drugs to each other. You understand? We won't be prostituting our sisters. You understand what I'm saying here? We won't be homosexual and adulterers, fornicators. You understand what I'm saying here? Because we're supposed to, again, keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High and say that it will go well with us. You understand? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 1. But of course, when we're not keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High, that in itself, he says, is going to be well with us. If you don't keep it, what's going to happen? It is not going to be well with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It's not going to be well with you, so-called Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian. You understand? And again, when a Christian pastor and religious leader tell you what, laws of the Most High done away with, it is not going to go well with us, because the Most High let you know that you're supposed to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. You understand? So when we read in the book of Leviticus, they tell you what to eat and what not to eat. You understand what I'm saying here? What beasts to eat on the land, what fishes to eat out of the sea, what not to eat, it will go well with you. You understand? Go ahead, give me what you have.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power.
You understand? So So it is going to come to pass. It was going to happen. You understand? If you listen diligently to the voice of the Lord thy God. You understand? Most I will just read it. Say if you do the commandments, it will go well with you. So now, reiterating it again. If you listen diligently to the voice of the Lord thy God, go ahead.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments.
You understand? To observe and do, not just observe. It have things in the Most High Lord's commandments and statutes that you're supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
You understand? The Most High say that when you keep the laws, commandments, and statutes, that He's going to set you on high. The Most High is going to put you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man on high. You understand? Above what?
Above all nations of the earth.
You understand? The Most High is going to put us on high above all nations upon the face of the earth. You understand? If we keep His laws, commandments, and statutes. But of course, if we integrate, if we do interracial marriages, if we celebrate Christmas, Easter, we go out and vote. You understand what I'm saying? We run to these other nations to cling on to their holidays. When the Most High tell us, learn not the way of the heathens, things is not going to be well with us. We are not going to be high above all nations. Because why? Most High already let you know, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, that you are to be separate. You understand? The Most High severed you, made us separate to Himself, to Him. And then He gave you laws, commandments, and statutes for you to follow. But when these religious leaders want to leap and reap and not teach you these things, it will have you going astray. It will have you sinning against the Most High. You understand? And you will be walking around thinking that you are in right standing with the Most High when you're not. You understand what I'm saying? That is it on one?
God.
Give me verse 15.
Verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
It shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and do all his commandments.
Right, so it's going to happen, it's going to come to pass, if you do not want to observe and do the commandments of the Most High. Just like today, you understand? All people not doing the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. I'm not talking about brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K. I'm talking about brothers and sisters out the world. They don't know nothing about the laws, commandments, and statutes. That is why we have classes every day of the week. That is why we just be on the streets. You understand? Teaching our people so that they will understand who they are. They understand they have laws, commandments, and statutes. You understand? Go ahead.
And it starts with which I command you this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
You understand? So if we don't do the laws, commandments, and
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
You understand? Curses is going to come upon us and overtake us. You understand? And we'll continue reading from under 15. You will see the curses that took the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man for not listening to the laws of the Most High God. You understand? The laws that the laws that the Most High come to let you know you're supposed to keep. Not that the Christian church saying the laws done away with. Jump down to verse 64.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. The Lord shall scatter thee.
The Lord shall do what?
And the Lord shall scatter thee.
So now, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Lord was going to scatter us if we didn't listen to the Most High Lord's commandments and statutes. He was going to scatter us. Go ahead.
All people.
Among who?
Among all people.
We, by not keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High, was scattered among all people. Go ahead.
From one end of the earth, even unto the other.
Understand? So throughout the earth, there are Hebrew Israelites, there are the real Jews, scattered throughout the earth. That is one thing that will let you know that the so-called Jewish man, that is, he stopped serving the Most High power. You understand? Jump down to verse 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
You understand? And the Lord was going to bring us into Egypt, into bondage again with ships. You understand? And that is how the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man was brought across on this side, was brought across in Trinidad, was brought across in the Americas. You understand? It wasn't talking about the land of Egypt. It was talking about that man of servitude, pressure that will be on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We was to be brought into Egypt, meaning bondage, slavery, again with ships, cargo slave ships. You understand? So when we fled from in Jerusalem under the hands of Roman persecution, we fled into Africa, and the Africans rounded us up, sold us to the Arabs and the so-called white man. And that's how we come here. This was prophecy in the Bible. These are the things that your Christian pastor is supposed to be teaching you. You understand? That you will come under bondage. And if you sit down and really think about it today, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are in bondage. You understand? Because we cry now from the pressures that we gain from all these other nations here in Trinidad. All. You understand? No matter what job site you go on. You understand what I'm saying? You must say, nah, boy, these other nations, nah, something wrong with them, boy. The pressure in we. You understand what I'm saying here? We are succumbing to Egypt, into bondage again. Go ahead. With ships?
Yeah.
Take it with ships?
With Egypt again with ships.
The cargo slave ships, go ahead.
By the way, whereof I spake unto thee.
Same way that he says is going to happen.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
You shall see it no more again. And the it speaking about here is your homeland. You are not going to see your homeland again. Because here in Trinidad, this is not your homeland. As scripture says, this is not your rest. So you could be trained to the bone, you could vote and die hard UNC and die hard PNM. This is not your homeland. You understand? You were brought across here on cargo slave ships for disobeying the Most High God. You understand? For not keeping his laws, commandments, and statutes. Go ahead.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
And here, in this land, you was to be sold unto your enemies, not your friends. You was to be sold to your enemies. Sold to your enemies, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Go ahead.
For bondmen and
slave men and slave women. Go ahead.
And no man shall buy you.
And the Most High let you know what? That no man is going to buy you. Meaning that no man is going to redeem you. You understand? No Christian pastor is going to redeem you. No religious leader, no politician, nobody is going to redeem you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. And that's your thing. Because if the Lord is letting you know that no man is going to redeem you, then who is the only person that could redeem you? It had to be the Lord. It can't be nobody else, because you see, no man is going to redeem you. You understand what I'm saying? So then now, that should let you know, hey, yeah boy, we have to come back and start keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? Come back and follow what he say. Because when you read high up, the first passage in the book of Deuteronomy, say, if you keep the laws, commandments, and statutes, all these blessings is going to come upon us. And if we came across here on cargo slave ships to be slave men and slave women, of course, before writing the prophecy of Deuteronomy 28 and 15, we fail to keep the Most High laws, commandments, and statutes. You understand? And we were sold unto our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. But what happened to us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? All religious leaders tell us that the law is done away with. All religious leaders are not showing us that we are the true Jews, that we are in the land of our enemies. All religious leaders not showing us, you understand, who is our enemies. When you find out who is your enemies, that don't mean you have to pick up guns and arms and start to run them up. You understand? These other nations. Give me Psalm chapter 83 and verse 1. We take it from there. I'm not going too far. We take it from Psalm chapter 18 and verse 1. 83, sorry. You understand? Because these is the things that your religious leaders are supposed to be showing it. So that you will understand. Not jump up and down and receive a miracle and all kind of madness. You understand? You have to understand that you were sold and no man is going to redeem you. Play all kind of black groups tried already. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in the same position that there is nothing in change. You understand? We could vote out with fingers with whatever color ink, nothing in changing. You understand what I'm saying here? We're in the land of our enemies. The other nations is over us and oppressing us. You understand? And what's so crazy is when the other nations lost the election, all people crying. Like if these other nations is the savior. When you don't know that the Lord is your savior, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and he's coming to redeem you from the hands of your enemies. Because the Most High seen what's going on. The Most High seen the oppression we under. But we must come back and keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. Give me Psalm chapter 83 and verse 1.
Psalm chapter 83 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Keep not thou silence, O Most High.
Go ahead.
Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thine who?
Thy enemies make a tumult.
You understand? Thine enemies. The Lord enemies make a tumult, they make a gathering. Go ahead.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate the Most High have lifted up the head. They have become proud. Go ahead.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
You understand? So all these other nations, they have taken crafty counsel towards so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? This is not today for tomorrow. This is not a council today, 1 hour, and then the next hour. This is what happened to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They have taken crafty counsel. This is time. You understand? All these nations come together and think about all different ways. Crafty counsel, not good counsel. Crafty counsel to destroy the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Crafty counsel is getting drugs into the communities. Crafty counsel is getting guns in the communities. Crafty counsel is getting them to abort the babies. Crafty counsel is getting them on homosexuality, lesbianism, adultery. You understand? Adult being fornicators, smoking weed, eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, the things that the Most High tell us not to do. You understand what I'm saying? They have taken crafty counsel. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And they have consulted against thy hidden ones, because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are the hidden ones. You are the ones that people don't know are the real Jews. Go ahead.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They have said, come. These other nations say, let us cut them off from being a nation. And for you to destroy a whole nation is like you destroying the East Indians. You understand? Destroying the East Indians. They say, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That is not a true crafty counsel. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of who?
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel. Go ahead.
May be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance. Nobody will not know who are the Hebrew Israelites. Nobody will not know who are the real Jews. And for you to come together, for these nations to come together, you understand? And take crafty counsel again, as like I was just saying, it's like you destroying the whole the East Indian nation, the Elamite nation, and making them to believe that it's Filipinos. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? And not today for tomorrow. Guys, as the scriptures rightfully say, it's crafty counsel. All these nations come up together so that you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, would know who he is. They wouldn't know who that is the real Jews. They wouldn't know that they have laws, commandments, and statutes. They wouldn't know that the Most High is coming back not to save all nations, that Christ SHALAM is not coming back to save all nations. You understand? They don't want you to know that Christ is your king. They don't want you to know that you're supposed to be the ones ruling the earth and not under this oppression that they're under. You understand what I'm saying? But as we always say in the I.S.U.P.K, we go bring on the truth and let you know who you are, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. What you need to do to come back to the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? We let you know that these other nations took crafty counsel. The Christian pastor is not going to let you know that. These other nations took crafty counsel and not letting you know who you are. You understand? And when you continue reading down from there, you will see where the when you see in these biblical names, you will know that these talking about the so-called white man, the Chinese, Japanese, you understand? All them had a hand in not letting you know who you are. You understand? That you are the most high chosen people. So when you see all these comments from the East Indians and this one and that one and that about monkey and nigger and all kind of thing, you understand? Don't worry about that. That should be the least of your worries. What you're supposed to be worried about is you coming back to the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You gathering yourself together with your people. You understand? You helping build back your nation to be in the rightful position that it's supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying? And come out from being what we call a cool Negro or a house Negro, sticking up under these other nations. You understand? Sticking up around them because they're throwing crumbs away. When they throw the crumbs, you run behind it and we like it. Gather yourself together, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Get yourself in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA. These is the last days that we're in. You see now things getting grimy all over the world. Things getting grimy. Things getting dread. Like the COVID started to pick up pace in Trinidad. All the time we're ranking #1 in the world. You understand? Thing nice. God is at Trini. You understand? God is at Trini. Non-COVID started to spread. It didn't reach point heavy. They started to say God is a point man. You understand? So you move from being a Trini to being a point man. And all this set of garbage you want to talk. It's time for you to wake up and gather yourself together, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You understand? Get yourself in these classes or get yourself online. Share these classes to your family. You understand what I'm saying? Come back to know who you are, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Yeah, go ahead, Officer Shah.
Like I say, you go 20.4 enough, but all the time go come.
You understand? You understand? Because they want to listen. Give me the book of from there, let me jump in the Apocrypha a little bit. Right, give me Baruch chapter 2 and verse 27. You want it, right?
Yeah.
Baruch chapter 2 and verse 27. In these last days, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, if you really think that you see seeing the real mind state and mindset of these other nations, especially these East Indians, you see nothing yet. As the time going on, get more dread and more dread, again more closer and more closer for the so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man deliverance. You're going to see the true, how we say, how the old people say, you're going to see the true colors of these East Indians, these other nations and them. You ain't see nothing yet. You understand? Go ahead. Baruch chapter 2 and verse 27. I'm just thinking about it, because I don't know if people had saw the election in Guyana and all too. When it was the election in Guyana, you understand, and so-called Negroes had won the election. You see how these other nations, you see how these East Indians behave in Guyana? Really ridiculous. You understand what I'm showing you? Really ridiculous. And you from the time you see that, you should know, so-called black man, that you is that nation not desired according to the scriptures. You should know that you as that nation not desired. And as the days going along here in Trinidad and the time getting more dread, you're going to see that you really, if you ain't seen it now, trust me, you're going to see it, that you's really not the nation that is desired by these other people. You understand? That is why the Most High say, gather yourself together. Go ahead up, Sasha.
Like if we had them Brahmas and them here, them East Indian Brahmas and them all, they had this segregation in India.
Right.
If them was down here, we'd have been dead already.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because you see, people don't understand that. Not, I shouldn't say people don't understand. Our people don't understand that we are a nation. You understand what I'm saying? These other nations, in time of trouble, in time of peril, they're going to band together. You understand what I'm saying? They is going to band together to support and help their own. And some of us know that these other nations is going to help their own, no matter if jobs, wherever the case might be, it's going to help the people. When our people get some form of position, we want to help them. You understand what I'm saying? We're not looking out for our own. We want to help them. I always say, remember, I used to work in a company and East Indian man come and say, hey, I will make here East Indian company playing out in front of Negroes and nobody can say nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Nobody can say nothing because he looking out for his own. And that is what we supposed to do. That is what the most I say, gather yourself together, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You look out for your own. Go ahead, Officer Shah.
And that's who we think, because if we don't want to gather anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we check the percentage already taking place in the country, I think we are the 1% on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now if them take them people, the businesses with them have and things, them can supply them own people they work on.
Exactly.
Then we are the East Indians and them now. So what's what the growers and they feel like, hey, if them East Indians feel to pull out and things, or what happen with all them other East Indians and them, they will just get more money now to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And if them decide to pull out and say no more with them,
they go handle the business.
So now it's like you know we people when I naturally come to the most side, naturally like when all them other nations are they start to keep this up. Other than that right now, them ain't thinking that. So it's like the only time that will happen when it's like when them Indians naturally start to pull the full 100.
Pull to the own. Then when people will really start to see now something wrong. You understand? Because we are right away saying it too, because even if the Chinese down here decide to pull out, I just saying some on this level, pull out from in Trinidad, they know where they're going. They're going right back to their own. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? East Indians going back to their own. All the African, now this is African, pull out to go away. Where we going? In Africa, over 50 different countries. And how much different dialect? You understand? And go where? We will not survive down there. You understand what I'm saying? So-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you are the true Jews of the Bible. Give me what you have, Officer Shah, in Baruch chapter 4, verse 25. Give me from 25.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
My children, suffer patiently the rod that is come upon you from the Most High.
That's not, hold on 1 minute. Let me catch you there. All right, go ahead.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
My children, suffer patiently the rod that is come upon you from the Most High.
You understand? So we have to just suffer patiently for the rod that was brought upon us from the Most High. You understand? We disobeyed the Most High. We were sold to be bondmen and bondmen to these other nations. Suffer that patiently. We were punished for not keeping the Most High laws, commandments, and statutes. You understand? Suffer patiently from the rod that was brought upon you from the Most High. Go ahead.
My children.
Mm-hmm. After you go back from the top there. Go ahead.
My children, suffer patiently the rod that is come upon you from the Most High. For thy enemies have persecuted thee.
For thy enemies has persecuted thee. Go ahead.
But shortly.
But how?
But shortly thou shalt see it. His destruction shall tread upon his neck.
You understand? Thou shalt see his destruction. You understand? Shortly, suffer patiently where the Most High bring you through. Come back keeping the laws, commandments, statutes of the Most High, and you will going to see the destruction of your enemies. You understand? And you are the ones that are going to do what? Tread upon your necks. Go ahead.
Verse 26. My delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies.
You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 27. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High, for you shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you.
You understand? So be of good comfort. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, and cry to the Most High. You understand? Do the things that the Most High tell you to do. Pray to the Most High. Face the east and pray, like we just do every time after class. You understand? Pray to the Most High. Go ahead. And the Most High is going to do what? Remember.
Remembered of him that brought these things upon you.
The Most High is going to remember your so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Most High will leave you out. Most High is going to remember us. Go ahead.
Verse 28. For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so be it returned.
So now, as it was us, we went away from the Most High. We didn't want to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. We want to do our own trade with these other nations. We want to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You understand? We want to do the holidays of these other nations. We didn't want to follow the Most High. You understand? Go ahead.
So being returned.
So now being returned, you coming back to the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You coming back understanding who he is. The real Jews. Go ahead.
Seek him 10 times more.
You have to seek the Most High 10 times more. No, you must really want to serve the Most High. No, you must really want to do the things that he tell you to do. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 29. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation.
You understand? So the Most High who brought these plagues upon us, he's going to bring us the everlasting joy with your salvation. Salvation being what? Being saved from the hands and the destruction of your enemies. The Most High Christ is coming to do that. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 30. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gives thee that name will comfort thee. Verse 31. Miserable are they that afflict thee.
Miserable are who?
Miserable are they that afflict thee.
Miserable are they. Miserable will be these other nations that afflict thee. Go ahead.
And rejoice at thy fall.
You understand? Them that afflict thee and rejoice when you so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man fall. Miserable will they be. You understand? This is what's going to happen to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. But we have to come back to the Most High. We have to come back, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes. You understand? We must understand that we is not liked by these other nations. You understand? We have no way in this Bible that show you that we could integrate with them. Everything will not be nice. No destruction. No World War III. We the nation not desired, as we read earlier on. Give me Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 15. You understand? We is not desired by these other nations. The Most High tell us what? We have good comfort. We have good patience. You understand? You going to see the fall of your enemies. You going to see the fall, the destruction of these other nations. You understand what I'm saying? When you have it, you go read it. Zechariah 1:15.
Zechariah?
Yeah, 1:15.
Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 15. And I am very sore displeased.
And I'm very sorry.
I am very sore and displeased with the heathen.
With the who?
With the heathen.
With these other nations, with the East Indians, with the Chinese, with the Japanese. Go ahead.
That are at ease.
That are what?
That are at ease.
Because they are at ease. They're living good right now. They're not worried about nothing. You understand? They ain't worrying about the things blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians worrying about right now. They are at ease. That is why they could come up and post all manner of things on social media. You understand? They are at ease. Their fathers have big businesses. They have monies. They don't have to worry about. You understand? They are at ease. Go ahead.
I was put a little displeased.
For I was but a little displeased.
For I was but put a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
You understand? For I was a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. They helped forward the affliction of you so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. These heathens, they help afflicted you. You understand? So all you're going through is not your fault. You understand? Yes, we sin against the Most High laws, commandments, and statutes. The Most High punished us for that. But these other nations pushed it. They had a time. You understand? They had a well hell of a good time, as we just say. Give me from there we'll go to give me the book of Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 10. We will take it from there and go down. You understand? Again, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, the religious leaders, the pastors, and so forth, they will not teach you these things. They just want to jump up and dance. You understand? Give some kind of miracle rag, some kind of miracle cloth, and they're teaching you that these other nations help afflict you. They're not teaching you that you so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you were sold unto your enemies. You understand what I'm saying? They're not teaching you that you're supposed to gather yourself together. They're not teaching you that you are the true Jews according to the Bible. You'll give me the have it. Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 10. You understand? And here what the most I have to say about these Christian pastors and religious leaders. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 10. His watchmen are blind.
His what?
His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant.
You understand? So all religious leaders of today, Pastor Coffee, Gemma, Chidi Jakes, Creflo Dollar, you understand? All religious leaders, they are blind. You understand? Go ahead.
They are all dumb dogs.
They are all what?
They are all dumb dogs.
You understand? When you look back when you say the watchman is blind, you're supposed to be watchman is somebody who's supposed to do what? Keep watch and alert the people. You understand? That's what watchman is supposed to do. But the Lord is letting you know that the watchman, they are blind. You understand? They're all dumb dogs. Go ahead.
They cannot bark.
They cannot what?
They cannot bark. Sleeping.
You understand? When they say they cannot bark, let them know what? They're not alerting the people. They cannot alert the people. They're not letting them know, hey, third world war coming. They're not letting them know use the true Jews. They're not alerting it to no form of destruction. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Lying down. Loving to slumber.
Yeah, verse 11. You understand? These religious leaders, they're lazy. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Yeah, they are greedy dogs.
They are what?
Yeah, they are greedy dogs.
You understand? They're just greedy. They want more and more and more. They don't care what it takes, but they just want more. They're greedy dogs. That's what the Lord calling them. Go ahead.
Which can never have enough.
You understand? And they can never have enough. They're not teaching us what we're supposed to know. They just want to sing and dance. You understand? And do all manner of evil, and they're not capable of doing their job. But supposed to be what? Watchmen, alerting the people, letting them know danger coming, this happening. This is what they need to do, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead. No, that's the end of that, right? Go ahead.
That cannot understand. They all look to their own ways. Everyone for his gain.
You understand? They all look to their own ways. They're all looking for their own gain. What they want to do. They're not, let me say, they're not coming together and really trying to understand if what they're teaching is right. They just want their own gain, their own power. You understand? Drain the pockets of the so-called black man. Go ahead.
From his quarter.
Give me that's another, right? Matthew 5 and 19. Matthew 5 and verse 19.
Matthew 5 and verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
You understand? So that is what's written and read it. You understand? So Christ is laying, you know, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. You understand? Religious leaders that whosoever break one of these least commandments, right? And you may think that, let me say, eating pork, smoking weed, being adulterer, you understand? You may think that that's small thing. Whosoever shall break one of these least commandments, go ahead.
And shall teach men so.
And shall teach men so. How are you teaching them to break the commandments? Of the Most High, or one of the least commandments? Right? Like we say the Most High say, don't eat pork. And you telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the laws of the Most High done away with. You're breaking the commandments and you're teaching men to break the commandments also. You understand? By telling them the laws of the Most High done away with. Go ahead.
He shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven.
He shall be called what?
Least in the kingdom of heaven.
You understand? So that person, that religious leader or pastor that not teaching the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High, that person is going to call least in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Least in the kingdom of heaven will be like the Christian leaders, imams, pastors, religious leaders. They will be called least in the kingdom of heaven because they're not teaching men that they have to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? Go ahead.
But whosoever shall do and teach them the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
And we in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA, we teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we teaching our people how they are to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? And we will be called great in the kingdom of heaven, unlike your religious leaders who say the laws are God done away with and we don't need to keep them. And they have you going to church with the Bible Sunday to Sunday, and they're not opening it and not seeing that they're supposed to be teaching the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? And that is words in red. That is Christ's words out of Christ's own mouth. You understand? That is what they're supposed to be teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to help them change the communities, help them come out from the conditions that they're in. You understand? That is what they're supposed to be doing, but they're not doing that. They want to sing and dance and reaping for leaping. Christian leaders, they're wicked towards blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They're wicked towards us. You understand? That is it on that? That's up to 19, right? Right. Give me say Matthew. Give me 23. Give me give me 23 and 30. Say Matthew.
Matthew chapter 23 and verse 13. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
You understand? And we know, of course, that woe means death and destruction. And scribes and Pharisees will be your religious leaders today. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. Go ahead.
Hypocrites. For you shut up the kingdom of heaven. For you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For you neither go in yourselves, neither suffer you them that are entering to go in.
That is 13. Go to 14.
Verse 14. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. Therefore you shall receive the greater damnation.
You understand? Because the Christian leaders and the Christian leaders, the religious leaders, they don't. Plenty of them saying that they love God, they love the Most High, but they're not actually doing what the Most High say. You understand what I'm saying? They're saying they love God, you understand? But they're not following after the Most High commandments. You understand what I'm saying? They're not teaching men to stop eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You understand? And that's how they shut up the kingdom of heaven towards men. Because people be supposed to be learning to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? That's why the Most High call them hypocrites. They're saying one thing and they're doing something different. You understand? It come like a pastor teaching, hey, don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, but then behind closed doors, he going to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? You must same 23, jump down to 25. Same 23, let's go down to verse 25.
Matthew chapter 23 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites!
Go ahead.
For you make clean the outside of the cup.
You understand? So
and of the platter.
So the Christian leaders, they make outside the Christian church look nice. You understand? Make you feel like, yeah, boy, I feel this is the one I have to go into Kingdom Hall or Open Bible. This is the place that I need to be. You understand? Go ahead.
But within they are full of extortion and excess.
They are what?
Full of extortion and excess.
You understand? The Christian church is full of extortion and excess. You understand? We see that out there with this pastor with how much millionaire. I forget what they have, and they still want. They want for no apparent reason and nothing. You understand what I'm showing you? Go ahead.
Verse 26.
Yeah.
Verse 26. Thou blind Pharisee, that which is within the cup.
You understand?
And the platter.
To the most size, then you know you are to clean what is within the cup and the platter. So like here, clean what in you first. You look at the things you doing before you look to go and help people. Before you go and look to clean people. You understand? Go ahead.
That the outside of them may be clean also.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 27. Verse 27. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites!
Go ahead.
For you are like unto whited sepulchres.
Yeah, whited sepulchre. That is like a coffin. Go ahead.
Which indeed appear beautiful outward.
You understand? On the outside, it look clean and nice. It look beautiful. These Christian religious leaders, the way how they present themselves, they look good. You understand? They present themselves like, yeah, I is the Savior. I is the one that is going to save you from your sins. Go ahead.
But are within full of dead men, but are within full of dead men bones.
But within they're full of dead men bones. Go ahead.
And of all uncleanness.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 28. Even so, you also outward appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
You understand? But see, they're not doing that the things that they're saying. You understand what I'm showing you? They're not teaching us again what we need to know as a people. They're doing one thing, they're saying one thing, Salaki, and doing something different. You understand? Give me the book of John, chapter 4, and verse 20. First John, chapter 4, and verse 20.
First John?
Yeah.
First John chapter 4 and verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
If a man say, I love the Most High,
Mm-hmm.
and hate his brother, he is a liar.
You understand? And this is what's happening in the Christian church. Because in the Christian church, they claim to love God. You understand? They claim to love God, they plead in the blood of Jesus, and they can't get along with one another. You understand? They can't get along with one another in the Christian church. You understand? What the Christian church will teach you is about self. They won't teach you how to love your brothers, they love yourself. They're teaching you for your own gain. Selfishness. You understand? They won't teach you to put your needs, to put Salakia, their needs or your brother needs before yours. You understand what I'm saying? Eh? They ain't teaching about brotherhood and sisterhood in the Christian church. Go ahead.
For he that loveth not his brother,
Mm-hmm.
whom hath seen, how can he love the Most High, for whom he had not seen?
You understand? And again, in Christian church, they love God, they love God, they love God. You understand? When you enter the service back and all, because who didn't think with the treasury money and this and that and all kind of madness. You understand? You can't love your brother who you could see. You understand? But you want to love the Most High who you can see. You understand what I'm saying? And when the religious leaders in this institution do these things, and say these things and not following up with what they're saying, after a while, you know, it will lead to? It will lead to what we were just watching earlier on with leaping and reaping. And from there, that is the demise of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. They want to do with church. Because only corruption, bubble, and all manner of evil towards the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? All manner of evil towards the Most High. Go ahead, Officer Shah.
And so like I say, like, and you see when they, you see like when them Christian, them Christian leaders and them, right, and them not correcting people and things, and say them doing the people and doing wrong, and all them just keep on coming and bringing stories and stories and things. Again, now them other people in the Christian church will never feel no how that they're doing a brother wrong compared to when in the I.S.U.P.K. After you spend certain amount of time and you get so much amount of knowledge, and then after you go and do something wrong, and according to you get wrong, you get chosen. So a brother or sister now in the school get to know, hey, I had to be righteous now to myself and all my other brothers. But now if I ain't do that thing, I think they get kicked out.
Yeah.
But when they think that them religious leaders and them like them having the same people for years, the same shop going on and nothing is changing.
Yeah, that's how much nothing. You're right the way you say nothing is changing. You understand? And you see the thing about it is too, you ain't teaching the people that the things that will make them change. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't teaching them the things that will make them fear the Most High. You understand? Because if we in the school we don't fear the Most High, we could be doing all manner of people. You understand? Because we don't fear God. You understand? But when you've been taught right and you seeing the errors of your forefathers in the scriptures, you understand? And how they was punished by the Most High. How we was punished as a nation for not listening to the Most High. When the things that we know we're supposed to do, we're going to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? We're going to do it so that we wouldn't be entrapped in the snares of Satan. But the Christian church did then, remember, Christian church thinking Satan in controlling. You understand what I'm saying? Not knowing that the Most High is who controlling everything. They thinking Satan and God fighting all kind of mad thing. You catch me what I'm saying? Yeah? That's why they go be reaping and leaping in the Christian church for whatever it is God alone knows. You understand? Let me get this two more before you wrap up. Give me
So I guess every time you do something like that, they don't it. It's Satan.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming yourself for the thing to do wrong.
You're correct. Yeah. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. Wait one more after that and we go wrap up, right?
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them.
Keep what?
Keep therefore and do them.
You understand? We have to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. We have to keep them, we have to do them. You understand? Go ahead.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of all the nations.
You understand? The laws, commandments, and statutes will be the wisdom and our understanding in the sight of all these other nations. You understand? Because when we're not eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, we're not getting these diseases. You understand? They will realize, nah, these people different. These people wise. You understand? These people understand why you're not supposed to be doing that. Why you're not supposed to be adulterer, homosexual, and smoking weed and all these different things. Go ahead.
We shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
You understand? This great nation is a wise and understanding people. You understand? It is wise not to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. It is wise not to sell drugs to your brother. You understand? It is wise not to be a homosexual. It is wise to follow the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? What people have to understand is that this coming into the knowledge of the Most High, coming to understand the laws, commandments, and statutes is not going to be easy because the Most High say that He's going to try us. Everyone is going to get tried. You understand what I'm saying? But we must try our best to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. Again, when you hear being taught right, you understand? You will understand that brotherhood, sisterhood, where you could function. You understand? Where you wouldn't slip and fall away from not keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. Give me Matthew 7 and And verse 13 to 15, 13, yeah, we went up with that. Matthew 7, 13.
Matthew 7.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13, right?
Yeah, 13, 14.
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Enter you in at the straight
You
gate.
understand? So Christ is letting you know, so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, enter in at the straight gate. Go ahead.
For wide is the gate and broad is the
You
way.
understand? So Christ is letting you know, wide is the gate, giving you these guidelines, and broad is the way. Wide is the gate, and broad is the way. That is the place that everybody wants to run to. For example, the Christian church. You understand? Wide is the gate, broad is the way. Everybody wants to run to the Christian church. They don't want to hear the truth. You understand? They don't want to hear to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes because they're watching everything like, hey boy, them keeping the laws, commandments, statutes. Where's that thing that happened on the jersey? Where's that thing on the forehead? But they rather have to run to the Christian church to hear lies. Wide is the way, broad is the gate. Go ahead.
That leadeth to destruction.
You needed to what?
That leadeth to destruction.
You understand? That way is the way that will lead to destruction. Go ahead.
And many there be which go in thereat.
You understand? And there be many that go in thereat, meaning there's plenty people that's going to run towards that wide gate that leadeth to destruction. Christ is letting you know that. You understand? Drop down to verse 14.
Verse 14.
Mhm.
Because straight is the gate,
He's letting you know now, straight is the gate. Go ahead.
and narrow is the way.
And narrow is that way. That way in broad. That way narrow. Straight is the gate and narrow in the way. You have to zone in on understanding who he is as a people. You have to zone in and understand, hey, I need to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. Straight is the gate and narrow is the way. That way is not the way that everybody will be walking to. You understand? Christ is letting you know that everybody walking in that way, in that path. You understand? Go ahead.
Which leadeth unto life.
See that what?
Which leadeth unto life.
Go ahead.
And few there be that find it.
And Christ is letting you know there's few people that is going to find it. You understand? There's few people that's going to understand, yeah, but you need to come back keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. You understand? The Most High don't let you know that 2/3 of his people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, is going to cut off and die because they don't want to listen to the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. They don't want to listen to the things that we have to say. You understand what I'm saying? Eh? That is why we come out here and pray and hope that the Most High could repent from that and give all people that chance again. That is why when we pray and always pray for the destroyed of Israel, for the people that not knowing, that don't know who it is. The people are taking this for slight. You understand? The people that don't want to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. Most I say 2/3 is going to get cut off and die, but we fight and pray that the Most I repent from that. You understand? So again, we come out here, teach these classes, go out on the street, try and raise the people to come out from the hellish condition there. You understand? From the sinful life that will be against the Most High. You understand? Show them the way that will lead them to life. You understand? This is what we are out here for, to help all people come back to the laws, commandments, and statutes, to gather themselves together, to build their people. Time for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian man to come out of the Christian church. The Christian church, as we were watching earlier, will have you doing what? Reaping and leaping for no apparent reason. Nothing to gain, nothing to profit. You understand? And with that, I'll pass the class over to Priest and Officer Shah.
Security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 and 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and pronounced as Maishara. 10% of every penny increase the Lord gives you to the treasury department or teacher, his fund, free-will offering for priests, non-mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. That will be the memorial blowing of trumpets, first day of the 7th month. That will be Tuesday, September 17, 2020. You can find it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 and 25. Reminder Akiams and Aquatiums to check on social media such as I.S.U.P.K, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which include black boots, black shirt, light pants, light headbands, or scarf. That is right, madam. Sir. You're going to say the Lord Prayer in Hebrew? Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Lakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Arataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemayim, Atan, Lanawa, Akom, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Abawakinawa, Nasalakinawa, Abawakinawa, Wala'ah, Tabanawa, Waisa one. Shaino, Mayan, right, Kaya, Ka, Abalakwa, Walaala, Wataparat, Waiwolomium, Aman.
In the English, what we just said was our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. You going to see the hakat in the Hebrew? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Oshai, Latan Lanawa, Akat, Lapara, Kal Makala, Bakal Marawan, Akat, Ataha, Hatamazarium, Akat, La Hakwayam, Hamatayam, Akat, Iwakawat, Atamala, Agarishim, Ba'ashem, Oshai, Tawadaman. What we just said in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power, the power to heal, all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. You going to say the blessings in Hebrew? Barak, Atah, Yahweh, Yahushai, Wamak Yala, Wa'ala Ayam, Matazabia, Ala Wapiam, Asaranium, Hakwat Zayanyam, Hakwa Yanyam, Watiam, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Oshai, Tawadaman. What we just said in English. Bless Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, Commanding General, Captain, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. What we're going to say now is the
Skinhead.
Ozzy, gay movement, lesbian movement, spy, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit, that seek to stop us, bring swift destruction, all the heathen stand in the way, try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro, through the earth, and consume them. Let the plague shake, house of the thief, and the let Yahawashi, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen and come up against us and speak thy word, cause it to be known by all that is the angels that have done it, cause it to be spread through the media, through the whole world, cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahawashi, thank you always, so be it.
God said, bless Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Baraklan Awad, YAHANNA, Wahanna, Saparium, Barak, Agan, Commanding General, Captain, Officer, Troopers, Sisters, Children, all the destroyed of Israel, Kayalwana, Raknapash, Shariah, Kinti and family, Muslim family, Koto family, Philip family. All the brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K. All the brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K. All the brothers and sisters fighting coming to the truth. All the brothers and sisters fighting coming to the truth. Babies and children in the I.S.U.P.K. Francois family, Wrong family, Zion, Wesleyan, Daniela, Jamilia, Nima, Khadijah, Trisha, Ashida, Chantel, Myelin, Bashima, Tawaraman. What we just said in the English, Lord, in the name of Yahawashi, bless us, and Israel, and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect, loved ones, name of Yahawashi, thank you, so be it. Sir, let's online, let's give the teacher a warm courtesy salute. Imagine Shabbat, imagine Barak, Yahweh Bashim Brakata, Yadimata. Let's get sisters online and one place. Imagine Shabbat, Imagine Barak, Yahweh Matan, Bashim Roshai, Yadimata, class is missed.